How North Korea built the world's weirdest hotel. The dream that reached the sky PLZ. Subscribe my channel and share video with others. In 1987, construction crews broke ground on what would be called the Ryugyong Hotel, meaning capital of willows. The design itself was breathtaking. At 330 meters tall, it would rise above nearly every other building in Asia. Shaped like a triangular pyramid with 3 sloping sides, it resembled something out of a science fiction film, part space station, part fortress. It was planned to hold over 3,000 rooms, multiple restaurants, vast conference halls, and even a revolving restaurant at the very top floor. North Korea spared no expense in making sure the structure would dominate its skyline. From every corner of Pyongyang, citizens could see the pyramid taking shape, climbing higher and higher into the clouds. For a while, it truly looked as if the North would succeed in building something that would astonish the world. But history had other plans. By the early 1990s, disaster struck. The Soviet Union, North Korea's greatest ally and financial lifeline, collapsed in 1991. Suddenly, the flow of aid, resources, and money dried up overnight. North Korea's economy crashed, and famine spread across the country. Construction of the Ryugyong Hotel came to a screeching halt. By 1992, the giant pyramid stood at its full height, but unfinished, hollow, and empty. Windows were never installed, rooms were left bare, and the revolving restaurant never turned. What was supposed to be the country's proudest symbol instead became an embarrassing reminder of failure. For nearly 2 decades, the pyramid loomed over the capital like a ghost, earning nicknames like the Hotel of Doom. During the years of abandonment, the Ryugyong became something almost mythical. Foreign visitors who managed to enter North Korea were warned not to photograph it. The government even erased it from official maps and postcards, pretending it did not exist. But there it was, towering, silent and strange, watching over Pyongyang. Its concrete shell was said to be unstable, its elevators unsafe, and its interior filled with nothing but dust and empty space. While the rest of the world continued to modernize, North Korea's tallest building became an unspoken monument to lost ambition. To outsiders, it became a symbol of isolation, showing how the regime could dream big but never deliver. Then, in the late 2000s, something surprising happened. An Egyptian telecommunications company, Orascom, struck a deal with North Korea to build the country's first mobile phone network. As part of this partnership, Orascom agreed to clad the unfinished hotel in modern glass panels, giving it a brand new exterior. By 2011, the Ryugyong Hotel no longer looked like an abandoned ruin. Its shiny glass reflected the Pyongyang skyline, making it seem futuristic once more. Propaganda began spreading, suggesting the hotel might finally open to guests. For a short time, excitement returned, both inside North Korea and around the world. Could this legendary project really be completed after all those wasted decades? But once again, reality caught up. Though the outside was finished, the interior remained incomplete. Reports leaked that the inside of the hotel was little more than empty halls, unfinished wiring, and bare concrete. Elevators still did not work, plumbing was unreliable, and international safety standards were impossible to meet. Year after year, North Korea hinted at grand openings, only to quietly back down. Some foreign companies were invited to inspect it, but none dared invest in turning it into a real, working hotel. The building had become too large, too outdated, and too expensive to ever function properly. Today, the Ryugyong Hotel stands as one of the strangest buildings on Earth. At night, its glassy surface sometimes lights up with massive LED displays showing propaganda, fireworks, or political slogans. To outsiders, it looks spectacular, but everyone knows the truth that inside it is still empty. No tourists have ever checked in, no families have ever spent the night, no revolving restaurant has ever served a single meal. What was supposed to be a shining beacon of pride has instead become a silent, glittering monument to broken promises. The Ryugyong Hotel remains shrouded in mystery. Some say the regime still hopes to finish it one day. Others believe it will remain forever empty, too unstable to ever open. Either way, it continues to fascinate the world, because it represents everything unusual about North Korea. Ambition without resources, pride without practicality, and secrecy without end. The hotel stands not just as a building but as a story, a reminder that sometimes the grandest dreams can also become the strangest failures. When foreigners were finally allowed limited access to Pyongyang in the 2000s, their first question was always the same: what is that massive pyramid? To the outside world, it was shocking that such a gigantic structure could stand for decades without being used. Journalists described it as the world's tallest ruin. Some even compared it to an alien spaceship, dropped in the middle of the capital. For curious outsiders, the hotel became a symbol of everything strange about North Korea. Mysterious, ambitious, yet frozen in time. Every few years, North Korean state media hinted that the Ryugyong would soon open its doors. Dates were announced. Foreign companies were rumored to be involved, and propaganda images showed happy guests walking through its glass halls. But each time, the promise faded into silence. By the mid-2010s, the world had grown skeptical. Some even believed the building was nothing more than a facade, its interior so unsafe that it could never be occupied. The Hotel of Doom nickname stuck, making it both infamous and unforgettable. If the Ryugyong Hotel cannot function as a real hotel, it still serves another purpose: propaganda. In recent years, its exterior has been transformed into one of the largest LED screens in the world. Entire sides of the building light up with animations, North Korean flags, military parades, and glowing slogans praising the leadership. At night, the entire city of Pyongyang can see it blazing like a giant billboard. For the regime, the hotel is no longer about welcoming tourists. It is about sending a message of power, pride, and technological showmanship to its own people. Behind the spectacle, however, lies the truth. The Ryugyong Hotel represents decades of wasted money and labor in a country where millions have suffered from poverty and hunger. Thousands of workers toiled on its construction only for the project to stall. The resources that went into building the giant pyramid could have built schools, homes, and infrastructure for the people. Instead, it became a monument to pride, an empty shell towering over a struggling nation. One of the strangest facts about the Ryugyong Hotel is how outdated it is. Construction techniques from the 1980s were never upgraded, meaning much of the building is structurally stuck in that era. Even if North Korea wanted to finish the hotel today, they would need to tear out massive amounts of concrete, wiring, and infrastructure just to meet modern safety codes. In many ways, the hotel is already obsolete, too old to be modernized, too big to be demolished, and too strange to be ignored.